And we're back. This time I'm going to show you how to create a stencil in Photoshop. Let's open a new image. I'll give it a new name to unlock it and then copy it by pressing Ctrl J. We don't need to crop it, so let me get rid of the crop tool and activate the move tool. Now we'll go to adjustment layer and posterize. Find a level that fits your image. You can go from 2 up to around 8 or 9, that should be fine for this effect. If you go too far up, the effect doesn't work that well anymore. Let me just pick 7 for this one. Next thing we want to do is create another adjustment layer called threshold. And now we can adjust the threshold with the slider. Make sure to go from one column to the next. So if you're in between two and you just move the slider a little bit by using the numbers, for example, you don't see much effect until you've reached another column, like here. I think that looks good for the hair. I'm going to keep it, but I don't want to have another threshold on the face, so I'll use the brush tool, make sure black is the foreground color, and then I paint on the layer mask of my threshold adjustment layer. Like so. Next thing I do is I'll just open another adjustment layer threshold. And then I only focus on the face. I hold Alt and drag the layer mask from threshold 1 to threshold 2, and then I press Ctrl I to reverse it. And now I only see the face. Let me first paint with the white color on the edges. That's way better. And now we use the slider to adjust the threshold only in the face. You need to find your own sweet spot depending on the image that you use, but I like it maybe around here. 110, that should be good. Let's say you don't want to have the background like I have here. I like it that way, but let's just assume you have an image and the background doesn't really work. So use your original image and then use the quick selection tool to make a selection of your model. Afterwards click on layer mask and then select the mask. Increase the radius of the edges. And then use the refine edge brush tool with a plus sign to go over the edges. With this specific effect you don't necessarily have to look at all of the details, as we're going to use a threshold later on anyway. So I'm going to speed this up a little bit. When you're done, press on OK. You can always adjust it further by using the brush tool and painting on the layer mask with black and white. White reveals and black conceals. But once again, for this effect you don't have to take care of all of the details, as we are going to apply the adjustment layer later on anyway. When you're done, just open a new layer, drag it below your image copy, activate the paint bucket tool and use black as a background color. For example, you can also use white. But when you use white, you need to go over the edges of your image layer copy. So depending on the image that you use, that might be a bit more work. You'll have to decide for yourself. I personally like this example with the background, so I'm simply going to disable the layer mask. And here's my finished result. Thanks for watching and I'll see you next time.